I was making gravy this morning to go over my mashed potatoes when I realised it wasn't gravy I was making, but rather it was dirt from the ground. And that got me thinking, good day, you absolute legends. Welcome to another edition of Update News. Now, today's top story is internal branch mystery. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, the internal branch updated now a good few days ago, but it never went over to experimental. So in today's video, we're going to speak exactly what this could mean, what it could be, why that is happening. And of course, if you are new around here, you like what I do, you like this type of stuff, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also, ladies and gentlemen, leave me a like on this very video. It really does help this kind of information get out there to the wider YouTube audience. All right, let's get into today's video. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, over on SteamDB, we can see right here that there is an internal branch update, but this is a strange thing. It's not gone over to experimental, where usually if it was just a smaller patch update, it would go over to experimental, usually within a 24-hour period of it going into internal branch in the first instance. However, this has not happened, and it's now remained in internal branch. Now, as we know, I've been keeping my eye on this very story as it develops to see what exactly is going on. And ladies and gentlemen, in yesterday's video, I theorized that maybe this expedition has been delayed, and my reasoning behind that, and I still kind of think along the same lines as what I said yesterday. The reason behind that, I feel, is because they released the orbital update, the major update, way too soon, way before anybody was expecting it. So this kind of shot them in the foot a little bit when it came to the expedition itself, because as we know with expeditions, the expedition starts, but when it ends, that's when we can expect the next major update, the one now after orbital. So it's always like a time period to when the expedition ends, and then usually around about 7 days, 2 weeks, we'll start getting the first sort of hints from Mr. Murray with an emoji drop or something similar that there is then going to be another big update. But obviously, if they release that expedition too soon, then it kind of messes up that timeline as well. So I feel like that is one of the main reasons to why it's delayed. However, you guys in that video left me a few comments, and this is what you, the viewer, had to say about today's topic. So Snowly Q put this: I don't think they're going to drop an expedition because it's normally in the patch notes. Now, when I read that myself, I thought that was a really good comment, because it is right. I don't remember seeing anything to do with, an upcoming expedition in said patch notes when they released Orbital. So maybe there's actually something to it. And it made me then think, going, well, you know what? The last kind of, expedition we had was in Omega. Now, Omega, as we know, if we look at the kind of biblical translation to what Omega means, it means the end. And like I said, just funnily enough, that was the last time we had an expedition. So take that with a massive pinch of salt, I'm sure. But what do you think about that? Let me know in the comment section down below. Next up, we have a wonderful comment from Alan Paul, and they put this: so you recorded this at the very least over 8 hours ago. At the time I leave this comment, it has gone from tier 2 at 35% in your video up to 41%. I said we watched Sean and his tweets really closely today and tomorrow. What better weekend to release an expedition than May the 4th be with you? So again, this is an excellent comment. So for those that are not in the loop, yesterday's video commented that I noticed something strange, and so did you, the community, as well. Basically, as we know, in the Quicksilver shop, where we get all our Quicksilver items from, there's usually a tier 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, depending on what it is they're going ahead and releasing. Now, over the last couple of weeks, tier 1 hasn't moved much. It really didn't. But then all of a sudden, seemingly overnight, it completed. And then when I made that video yesterday, tier 2 was at something like 30% or even a bit less than that. But as Mr. Alan Paul said, virtually expedited now to nearly 50%. It's absolutely rapidly sped up. And this is what I theorized, going, well, if they're going to be bringing out an expedition, then they can't do that until the items in the Quicksilver shop that are already there have been fully completed. And as we all know as well, Hello Games is absolutely notorious for speeding things up or slowing it right down depending on what it is that they're going to be implementing. So if we see a dramatic speed up like we have just been witnessing there, and obviously as the comment says, you guys have also been seeing it as well, then that is usually a sign that there is going to be something big to come. And it could very well be the expedition. Now, if this carries on down its path and it's speeding up and then maybe tomorrow we'll get tier 3, then that's fully unlocked. And if that is the case, then maybe that is when the expedition will drop. When that is finished, we'll get the expedition. But if it's speeding up like this, then it's usually a very, very good sign that No Man's Sky is basically going to get a new implementation. Now, of course, I went ahead anyway and I double checked Mr. Murray's Twitter page for Murray Watch. Now, the last correspondence we had from Mr. Murray was on the 27th, where he reposted a picture. But other than that, other than a few reposts that he's done previous to that, nothing else has been communicated from him to us. So there is nothing in the pipeline yet. But however, I always say keep an eye on Mr. Murray's Twitter page, because if anything was to happen in No Man's Sky, he usually puts it there. So it's a really good tool to kind of try and figure out what's going on. But that's not always the case. As we can see here, he's not really mentioned anything what this internal branch update is, which again just leads to more speculation, because at the end of the day, if it was just a patch update, he would release the patch update notes as we've seen prior, but that hasn't happened. So again, it's very exciting time for the community, because a lot of things are happening right now and nobody seems to fully understand what's going on with this internal branch. Yeah, we can speculate until our heart's content that it's probably going to be the expedition, and it's a probably surefire thing that it is, but as always, until it happens, we don't have a definitive answer. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about today's video. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we're going to get an expedition, or do you think, on the other hand of that, we're not going to get an expedition this time around and it is just going to go straight on to the next big major update? Let me know your thoughts, comment section down below. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's everything from me here today, and as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.